halftime, just moments away from the second half kickoff, and the Denver Broncos are trailing the Seattle Seahawks by the score of 20-10. I'm Marv Albert along with Mike Hafner, and I would think that Red Miller, the Denver coach, had much to say to his defensive unit at halftime.
The Denver Bronco defense was leading the National Football League against the rush, and I'm certain that Red Miller's red hair got a little redder at halftime, and also his face. He's got to have been upset.
Mike, how do you explain the terrific play in the first half by that offensive line of the Seahawks?
There are a few injuries on the Denver Broncos, in the defensive line especially, but I'll tell you, you got to give credit to the Seattle Seahawks front five. They've been blocking well and getting the first surge.
And this had been a much maligned offensive line, although going into the season, the feeling was that there was improvement, and we have seen that here today as we take a look at the halftime statistics.
Seattle 109 yards rushing. Denver had been giving up less than 100 during a game. Only 23 yards rushing for the Broncos. And on the other hand, the passing is dead even. And I believe if the Broncos would have thrown the ball more, they could have gotten more pass yardage.
Coming into today, Denver with a record of 2-1 victories over Cincinnati. The overtime win over Atlanta last week. The loss to Los Angeles in that Thursday night game. Seattle at 1-2. They were walloped by San Diego in the home opener. They lost at Miami 19-10. Last week convincingly beat Oakland 27-10 at the Kingdome. Prior to last week, turnovers had killed the Seahawks. The last game and a half, they have really come together. And as we enter the third quarter here in Denver, they are leading by the score of 20-10 as Jim Turner tees up the football back deep. Awaiting this kickoff, Al Hunter and Jeff Moore. That's Hunter, number 24. And Moore, the rookie, number 32. Moore out of Jackson State, a 12th round selection in the draft. Underway now, second half. Hunter is chasing to the 5, 10, 15, out to the 20, and spun around and stacked up. Gang tackled over at the far side. A host of Broncos there, including Larry Evans, Charlie West, and the Seahawks will go to work.
Very important defensive series for the Denver Broncos. They were pushed all over the field in the first half, and they've got to establish themselves right now.
That Seahawk offensive line, Nick Bebout, Steve August at the tackles, Tom Lynch, Ron Coter at the guards. The center is John Yarno. And Yarno leads them up.
For those guys, they have played very well.
Dan Dornick and Trevor Smith working out of the eye. And the quarterback is Jim Zorn. And Zorn will throw on first down, and he completes to that man again, Largent, out at the 42-yard line.
Again, the offensive game plan, obviously, for the Seahawks, throw on first down, and anytime you find number 80 to throw the football to, he's going to catch it. Zorn again on the play-action pass on first down. They figure they're going to hold the linebackers so they can open up that slot in between the defensive backs and the linebackers, and you will see right where Steve Largent is. In between the defensive backs and the linebackers, makes another great catch.
Bob Swenson made the stop. Largent came to the sidelines limping and looking to walk it off right now. First down at the 42-yard line. This is Dornick with no running room at all. Hit back for a loss.
I told you can't run outside against the Denver Bronco defense. There was the perfect example, and I imagine Seattle will go back inside now.
Swenson and Manor combining on the stop. There they are. 51 is Swenson. 66 is Manor, the man who replaced Lyle Alzado at right defensive end. It's a 2nd and 11 at the 41. Chavis, Carter, and Manor up front. Steve Largent being attended to by the Seattle trainer, looking at his leg.
That won't help him any.
5 defensive backs in there now for the Broncos on 2nd and 11. Zorn with time, incomplete. Radishar covering McCullum on the play.
Prime example of why 5 defensive backs makes it so tough to throw. You can get double coverage from the linebackers on your short patterns, and that's where Zorn is most effective. And that time, Randy Gradishar and Bob Swenson both had the play covered.
It'll be a 3rd and 11. Jim Zorn, 9 for 17, 120 yards. He's not thrown a touchdown pass today. Sims back in the Seattle lineup wearing number 35. Zorn to throw again. And he completes to Rabel for a first down. Steve Rabel shaking loose. And it's a first down out of the Denver 43-yard line.
Again, that 5 defensive back set up for the Denver Broncos, and Rabel found the hole, the one slot where there was an open passing lane, and Jim Zorn can throw it like darts right on the butt.
Rabel is a dependable receiver, comes off a fine year, 22 catches, 316 yards. He's played well in the early going. First down at the 43, again out of the eye, swing pass for Smith. Sherman Smith with acceleration to the 35-yard line. An 8-yard pickup, making for a 2nd and 2. Rizzo and Gradishar, and on the tackle on Smith.
And again, a perfect call by Jim Zorn. He had Tom Jackson blitzing, and the coverage for Smith was supposed to be Jackson, but he was blitzing.
We've received word from the Seattle bench. They have taped up Largent's ankle, and there you see Steve trying to walk it off. He's been replaced by Steve Rabel. Rabel is out to the left. Now Ferguson, wide right. 2nd and 2 at the Denver 35. Seahawks leading it 20-10. Dorning close to the first down marker as Chavis and Swenson combined to make the stop. And they are calling for the yardsticks.
I'm trying to see whether it's short or not. I'm going to say it's short by an inch.
All right, Mike.
See how
we'll check it out.
Wide receiver's eyes work.
And we see Reuben Carter, number 68, limping around at the Denver bench. Michael, I think those eyes, I hate to say it, but I think they have remained in fine shape.
Listen, wide receivers always knew whether it was a first down or not.
Uncanny. It is a 3rd and inches at the 33-yard line. Kit Lathrop has come back on. There's a check of the 3rd down conversion situation. The next one for the Broncos will be their first. Seahawks have been successful.
Watch that offensive line of Seattle. They're the key.
Well, Sims looking to throw. And he gets away with it to the tight end, Peets. Brian Peets off the flip from Sims, who has done this successfully in the past. Little razzle-dazzle. Jackson and Foley combining. All right, he can smile now. Jack Patera pulling one off for a first down at the 15. He is smiling at the 15-yard line.
The old flea flicker. Pitch it back to Sims. He tucks it under his arm, pulls it down. And I'll tell you, if it would have been a little better throw, Peets might have walked in the end zone. But Steve Foley, along with help from Tom Jackson, prevent the score.
Sims and Smith can both throw the football. Smith was a quarterback in college. Time a short pickup for Sherman Smith as Grant and Swenson combined to make the tackle. That was actually the 2nd pass attempt this season by Sims, incomplete on his first. And of course, last week we saw the punter, Old Thunderfoot, Herman Weaver, combine on a pass play to Cornell Webster that led to that controversial touchdown. At least from the Oakland point of view, they were upset because Seahawks scored with 0 on the clock. 2nd and 8 now from the 13-yard line. Big play with Sims combining with the tight end Peets. And here's Zorn firing for the end zone. McCullum was in and then out and back in. And it's a score.
The Bronco defense stayed home for this game. They've been torn apart by the Seattle offense. Jim Zorn's passing and the outstanding blocking of the front 5 of the Seahawks.
Be interesting to watch this play. It looked from our angle that he actually tried to twist away from Bernard Jackson. As a result, stepped out and then back in. Let's see.
Crossing pattern. There he is in the end zone. He'll be out again, but all you have to do is break the plane of the goal line, and it counts.
And here is Herrera. Zorn putting it down, and it is right through. So the Seahawks now lead the Broncos by the score of 27-10, and a testy crowd here at Mile High in Denver.
make way for the 80s, your Dodge dealer has to sell a lot of cars, trucks, and vans. And that's why Chrysler Corporation gave dealers the biggest cash incentives in Chrysler's history. Big discounts they can pass on to you. Come and see the low prices marked right on those cars, trucks, and vans. You'll get what may be the best deal you ever made. And only Chrysler Corporation tops your deal with a $400 check. Not Ford, not GM. Come to Dodge and check it out.
If anybody appreciates the end of the day, it's a Big A Auto Parts store. Because during the day, no other store works harder to give you quality parts and friendly service. Why, only this morning.
Okay, you need a muffler and a tailpipe brakes for a 67 Plymouth? We'll have it here by 11 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am. I can show you how that goes on.
You need 6 gas cans? Yes, we can grind drums. Is it a V8 or a 6?
Quality parts, friendly service. That's Big A, the hard-working auto parts store.
Laura's in love with Almanzo, but she has a rival. To make matters worse, Pa disapproves. Little House on the Prairie, Monday.
A glum sea of orange here at Mile High Stadium with their Broncos trailing badly 27-10 with 10 minutes 8 seconds left in the third quarter. Chris Payne on the right, Rick Upchurch on the left as Herrera gets set to kick off. 79-yard drive, 9 plays for Seattle, 13-yard touchdown pass from Zorn to McCullum. Zorn's first TD of the day, his 5th on the season. It's time a short kick. Upchurch to the 20. Out to the 30-yard line. The return by Upchurch, and the Broncos now 1st and 10 from the 30. Sammy Green making the stop on Upchurch.
It'll be interesting to see what head coach Red Miller of the Broncos does with his offense. They're not used to playing catch-up with this great defense. And now they're 17 points down, and they've got to throw the ball. That puts a lot of pressure on Norris Weiss.
Ball spotted at the 32. That is where Upchurch's forward progress was marked. Upchurch comes out to the left side now. Odoms in motion, and Weiss in trouble, looking to get away, and he does, with penalty markers thrown down. Weiss out to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, another flag is down. 3 penalty markers down, and Weiss was able to run out of trouble.
2 calls, a holding penalty on the Broncos and then a clipping penalty on wide receiver Haven Moses, so all that action by Norris Weiss will all come back.
And there is that 3rd penalty flag down as you look at referee Gene Barth trying to collect his thoughts and all the penalty markers.
He's going to have to sort it out. He's got flags all over the field. But he's talking to Seattle. Again, Norris Weiss was under tremendous pressure, and we'll see, it looks like 3 or 4 people holding right there. There goes the penalty flag, so the holding penalty was there.
3 penalties against Denver. Illegal motion, holding, illegal use of the hands. Holding was a penalty taken. 1st down and 20.
Well, take your pick. All 3 against the Broncos. That is the hat trick. Illegal motion, illegal use of the hands, and holding. And it's the holding one that will be posted. So it'll be a 1st and 20 now, back at the 22-yard line. The Broncos shift out of the eyes. Lytle moves off to the left. Jack Delvin is back in at wide receiver. He is out to the left. That's Odoms in motion. And Weiss being pursued by Gregory, incomplete. Intended for Jensen coming out of the backfield.
Weiss had a couple receivers open, but the pressure was just too much, and he couldn't find them. Had to try and dump it off, and it was a poor throw, and they'll go to 2nd and 20.
Mike, do you think we will see Craig Morton perhaps next series?
I wouldn't doubt it. They've got to throw the football to catch up. Weiss is not the pure passer that Morton is.
Well, to this point, Morton has not begun warming up along the sidelines. We'll have to wait and see how Miller will play it. Broncos down 27-10, and the only way they can come back is to put it up in the air, particularly right here, 2nd and 20. And Weiss to throw. Gets it away, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Harris down to the 10, to the 5. The Seahawks will have 1st and goal. 2nd interception of the day by the Seattle Seahawks. Earlier it was Keith Simpson, and now the 3-year pro out of Arizona State, John Harris.
Not a smart throw by Norris Weiss. He was in the grasp of a defensive player. You just can't throw it up for grabs in the National Football League, and it was up there, and Harris picked it off. Again, the Broncos in a tough situation. They're down by 17. Seattle knows they have to throw it, and Weiss tried to jam it in to Haven Moses, and Harris stepped right in front, and it was an easy interception.
John Harris, 7th-round draft pick last year. This is Harris's 2nd year. Named to most of the all-rookie teams a year ago. There's Craig Morton talking with quarterback coach Dave Curley. And Red Miller looking on as the Seahawks have a 1st and goal down at the 2-yard line. Here's Sherman Smith, and he's in. The Seahawks now lead it 33-10. And let me repeat these stats going into today. Denver's defense ranked #1 in the NFL against the run. They had allowed only 2 touchdowns this year prior to today as you watch Smith bring it home.
There was just nothing to do but run into the wide open spaces, and we've got 2 quarterbacks down on the field at the Bronco bench warming up. Craig Morton and Craig Penrose. We'll see a new quarterback.
And Efren Herrera puts it right through to give the Seahawks a 33-10 lead here in Denver as you look at Craig Morton. Get ready.
Does the idea of buying a used car scare you? Get a great car buy at Hertz Buy a Car. We sell only the best cars from the Hertz Rent-A-Car fleet, and we give you the complete service and maintenance records so you know exactly what you're getting. Hertz Buy a Car. Call toll-free for nearest location.
After all these years, I still like working out. But what I really like is the beer that's waiting for me when it's over. And if you work out the way we do, there better be a lot of beer waiting. That's why we drink light beer from Miller. Light has 1/3 less calories than the regular beer, and it's less filling, and it tastes great. Take it from a guy who works out a lot. Could really use one right now.
Here you go, Bruce.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Start your day with NFL 79, then AFC Player of the Year Earl Campbell leads the Oilers against the Browns, followed by a great AFC West contest as the Broncos battle the Raiders next Sunday. NBC Sports. We're proud.
There's the 15-year pro out of the University of California, Craig Morton, who we expect will come on the next Denver series. Yes, he's getting ready to come on for Norris Weiss as Efren Herrera will kick off to the combination of Rick Upchurch and Chris Payne. The Seahawks now leading it 34-10. Again, a short boot. Upchurch to the 20-yard line and hit, and down he goes across the 20.
Here he comes, Craig Morton.
Art Cronin bringing Upchurch down as Morton comes on. Last faced the Los Angeles Rams in that Thursday night defeat. That is only playing time this season. Taking over for Norris Weiss, went 5 for 11, intercepted once, and his fumble led to the winning score by the LA Rams.
You'll see a lot of pressure from that Seattle defense. They know Morton isn't very mobile.
First down at the 22 as Morton calls off his first play and pops it off to Upchurch. 25, 30. First down and more out near the 40-yard line.
Excellent throw by Craig Morton. The great quickness. He has a powerful arm. And you want to get Rick Upchurch one-on-one in the open field. Watch the great quick release of Craig Morton. Even 15 years later, he can still throw the football. and Upchurch on the quick screen to the wide receiver almost breaks it. Harris slowed him down, and then it takes a tackle from Hartburn Hardy to stop him.
17-yard pickup, first down at the 39, and Morton to throw again. Incomplete. Haven Moses for another first down. Cornell Webster with the reps around Moses. So Craig Morton has come on and hit 2 of 2.
And I'll tell you, Craig Morton has that powerful arm. If it would have been Weiss, the ball wouldn't have got there quickly enough to make it a completion, but it's right on the button. Haven Moses with a good turn-in pattern. And Craig Morton has got them fired up, though. They're down by 24.
8 minutes left, third quarter. Denver with a long way to go. First down at the Seattle 41-yard line. And Morton to throw once again. Throws the middle and completes again. First down at the 20-yard line again. Morton with Moses. Keith Butler, outside linebacker on the right, making the stop. Morton is 3 for 3, and he's brought that club upfield.
Craig Morton can throw the football. I played against him in college when he was at the University of California. He can still throw it 20 years later. And I don't know, there might be some unbelieving people about the starting quarterback next week. Morton can certainly throw.
Lytle and Jensen are the running backs. Moses is off to the left right now, and the handoff to Jensen. Picked up a yard on the play. It'll be a 2nd and 9 at the 19. There you see Morton, 3 for 3, 58 yards. Setting that Denver offensive line, Dave Studdert, Clotty Miner at the tackles, Tom Glassick and Paul Howard at the guards. The center is Bill Bryant.
5 defensive backs now in for Seattle on 2nd and 9. They know Morton's going to throw it. So does everybody else in the stadium.
Upchurch right and Moses right. 6.5 left, third quarter. The short set. He's got Upchurch. Upchurch for the cut. Works his way free inside the 5. Chuya Sissoko making the tackle, chasing Upchurch down.
I said the Broncos want to get Rick Upchurch one-on-one. They saw deep coverage by Cornell Webster. Look at those moves by the quick Upchurch. And he's down to the 2, and the Broncos are knocking on the door, and they've got time to make a run.
It is first and goal. Down at the 2, Morton has this crowd going once again. He has come out on fire and taking over for Norris Weiss here in the third quarter. Here's Lytle, bottled up, stopped at the line. Straight ahead move, and Lytle was tripped up by Hartburn Hardy.
Otis Armstrong now coming into the line, into the lineup, and he's that outside speed. Even if he doesn't carry it outside, the Seahawks will have to think about the outside run, and that would even open it up inside for fullback Jim Jensen.
Armstrong thus far this year has carried only 8 times for 27 yards. That includes the 2-yard run outside earlier today. Now Morton on the bootleg, looking, and which one? Touchdown!
Tackle eligible on that play. Dave Studdert, the off tackle was eligible. They set it up with the wide receivers so that the tackle was eligible. You know, he was covered all the way. I don't think they fooled the Seattle defense, but Morton found him with that great whip arm, and they got 6.
An unusual play. Cornell Webster trying to defend, giving away 4 inches to the left tackle, Dave Studdert, first-year pro out of Texas, who has just caught his first touchdown in the National Football League. A tackle-eligible play, and here's Jim Turner putting it through. So the Broncos wasting no time with Morton coming on. They get it up on the board. They are now trailing with 4:59 left, third quarter. Still a long way to go. They're down 34-17.
been from Maine to Malibu, but I don't let her go nowhere without the treatment.
This is no car. This is a legend. And you better believe I give her the treatment.
STP oil treatment. Since 1964, over 500 million cans have been sold. No other brand even comes close. So do what millions do. Give your car the treatment from STP.
This sweetheart gets a treat, and this sweetheart gets the treatment.
Ram power. Dodge gives you Ram power.
Now Dodge pickups go beyond tough. They're Ram tough. The biggest maximum payloads. More than Ford or Chevy. The most brute power with its most fuel-efficient V8. And with optional 3-speed automatic. The best mileage ratings, too. More than Ford or Chevy. Now,
Dodge trucks are Ram tough.
The Denver Broncos scoring drive, 78 yards, 7 plays within 4 minutes and 29 seconds. Craig Morton coming off the bench and firing bullets. Al Hunter driven back on the kickoff and says, I'll stay right here. They'll bring it out to the 20. And this crowd that was quieted earlier third quarter has now come alive. 75,092, the 67th straight sellout during the regular season here in Denver. And they are rooting their Broncos on to overtake the Seattle Seahawks. Right here, we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is KING-TV, Seattle.
Marv Albert and Mike Hafner from Mile High in Denver. Seahawks, 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. The fake for Cronin, and it's intercepted. Swenson on the intercept. The Broncos will take over inside the 25.
Watch the tremendous pressure by middle linebacker Randy Gradishar. It forces Zorn to throw the ball before he wants to. He tried to hit his tight end Peets, and Bob Swinson is there to pick it off. And the Orange Madness is getting madness.
And Mike, that's the first turnover this season that the Broncos have been able to come up with it. In game number 4, as Swinson picked it off, Morton, who is 5 for 5 for 77 yards. Running the Broncos right here, gets the quiet. And fires right side, completes to Upton. Oh, they say out of bounds. And the Broncos argue, that's Rob Lytle over, arguing the call.
You must get both feet down inside the line. Rick Upchurch running the corner pattern. Morton is right on the button again. The guy is hotter than a firecracker. 1 foot. Uh-oh. It sure looked to me that he was in. Of course, the referee and the back judge has a better angle than we do. Might not have had control of the football. And I wouldn't put on one of those striped shirts and hang a whistle around my neck, so I'll let them call it.
2nd and 10 at the 24. And now the handle. Here's Benson. Big hole. And Jensen brings down to the 20. First down for the Broncos.
An excellent call by Craig Morton that takes some pressure off of him when he can get the running game going also. He's thrown almost every down, Marv. Jim Jensen has great speed for a 240-pound fullback. About 4'6" in the 40, and he really keeps the drive going with a great call, the running play.
Justin and Brown making the tackle. Denver trailing 34-17 off the intercept by Swenson, looking for another 6 right here. Morton is 5 for 6 now. And he throws to Moses. Touchdown! Even Moses. And the Broncos are right back in it.
The old pro Craig Morton on a time pattern. They want to throw it before the cornerback turns around. Cornell Webster never had a chance. A perfect throw again, Marv. He's been on the button with every single throw.
It is now Broncos trailing 34-23, and Turner will try to cut it down to 10. And he does. We have 3 minutes and 48 seconds left in the third quarter. This game is turned around off a passing clinic that is being engineered by Craig Morton. We'll be back in a moment.
You dance on a river of wood, and the spinning shapes in the cold, dark water are your only bridge home. So you keep on dancing until the last log is in place and you can head for Miller time. Time for the best tasting beer you can find, Miller High Life.
When it's time to relax, we've got the beer, Miller beer. If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
The AC Spark Plug, buy 7, get 1 free sales on right now. Participating outlets where you see this poster.
Thanks, AC.
Americans are learning that if their car's plugs are misfiring, a tune-up with new AC Spark Plugs can help improve gas mileage. Thanks, AC. Now's the time to tune up because AC Delco is making it possible for you to get 8 AC Spark Plugs for the price of 7.
Thanks, AC.
Tune up with AC. Buy 7, get 1 free.
Thanks, AC.
Craig Morton, a man who has had his ups and his downs in his career with the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Giants, and with the Denver Broncos. But today, way up, coming on for Norris Weiss, and leading the Broncos to 2 quick touchdowns, the second off the intercept by Swenson. And the Broncos trailing at halftime, 20-10, now trail 34-24. As Hunter is sent all the way back, and that's just where he will stay. Tremendous move by Jim Turner. It has been all Denver here. Following the early moments of the third quarter, when the Seahawks were able to move in front by the score of 34-10. There's that last drive, 3 plays, 24 yards, capped off on the 24-yard pass play to Haven Moses.
The Bronco defense has now got to have some inspiration as Craig Morton has brought him back. We'll see if the Bronco defense can hold up.
Last time that zone looked to throw, he was picked off for the 7th time this season. Dunn and Smith, the running backs. This is Sherman Smith looking to go wide, cannot. Smith could not make the turn, pursued over to the left side. Radishar and Grant combining on the stop.
And I'm very, very surprised that Seattle is trying to run outside. If there was one thing they couldn't do all today was run outside. Look at Randy Gradishar with help from Bryson Manor and Bob Swenson. John Grant also in there. Oh, momentum has certainly turned around.
Well, those defensive statistics that you just saw on the screen will certainly be affected from next week's weekly sheet that is released by the NFL. Second down play. And Zorn to throw. Looking for Ferguson. Tipped away. Oh, a beautiful play by Swenson.
I'll tell you, the Bronco defense is fired up. He had Ferguson wide open on the out pattern against Bill Thompson. And Swenson was in the passing lane, and I haven't seen him get off the ground like that this season. Great play by Swenson to knock down a sure completion and a first down.
It'll be a 3rd and 12 at the 18. Bob Swenson, one of the many first-rate free agents signed by the Denver Broncos. 3rd down, 18, and Mile High Stadium is shaking. Fans stamping their feet. We can hardly hear ourselves talk. Here's on. Overthrows intended for Rabel. And Seattle forced to give it back to Denver.
They're fired up, those guys in the orange jerseys, making it awful tough on Seattle. And if Morton remains as hot, Seattle's going to be in for a big, long fourth quarter.
Herman Weaver, 10-year pro out of Tennessee, leads the National Football League in net punting yardage, coming off a great day, having himself another fine day. Upchurch is back in single safety, and a bad boot straight up. Denver will have tremendous field position.
Herman Weaver got the apple and shanked one off of his foot. Oh, you can't give that momentum. Keep giving it to him, to the Broncos. Herman Weaver knows he needs a big booming punt. He doesn't get it. He tried to rush it a bit, and it shanked off the side of his foot, went straight up in the air, and the Broncos will start at their own 34.
Mike, that goes down as a 17-yard punt by Weaver, who has been booming at 40 and 45 a clip. First down for Denver at the 35-yard line. Crowd quiets for Morton. On the double pump, he whips one down.
Against Seattle. It is.
Yes, it counts. Morton to Upchurch, and it is now Denver within 4. Seattle leading at 34-30.
Watch Greg Morton, the old pro. It's the stop-and-go pattern. Rick Upchurch runs the hook. There's the fake, and a perfect throw again. I can't believe the day that Craig Morton's having, and the great speed of Upchurch gets him open. Morton hits him on the button, and we got a football game.
Now Jim Turner, who has been perfect, will try for the extra point. Denver moves within 3 as Morton has come on within a short time, has thrown 3 touchdown passes to the tackle-studded to Moses, and now to Upchurch. 2:25 left third quarter, and Seattle leading at 34-31.
What a day for number 7, Craig Morton. What a quarter, I should say.
Standing ovation for the Broncos. Seattle coach Jack Patera trying to figure out how to put a stop to this Bronco drive. It has been all Denver following those early third quarter scores by Seattle, and it has completely turned around. The deep men, Moore and Hunter number 24, and Moore number 32. Craig Morton coming on for Norris Reese here in the third. He had played only against the Los Angeles Rams in that Thursday night game a couple of weeks back, was 5 for 11. And it was Morton's fumble that led to the winning score by the Rams. Here's Turner. And another boomer. Al Hunter decides to run it out to the 10. Down at the 17. So Hunter, for a moment, it appeared as if he would stay in the end zone and changed his mind. He ran it out. Larry Canada, backup running back. There he is, number 35, 2-year man out of Wisconsin. Able to get Hunter. And Jim Zorn will go to work once again.
Tremendous pressure now on the Seattle offense. They've got to get a first down at least to break this momentum that Craig Morton has created for the Denver Broncos.
Last 3 series, Zorn has been stifled early. First down at the 16-yard line. Dorning in front of Smith out of the eye. And Zorn in trouble. Down he goes. Get the quick whistle as Jackson was all over. Zorn was looking to knock the ball loose.
The Bronco defense has been inspired by the play of Craig Morton. They were terrible in the first half. In the second half, when Morton came in, they've gone insane. And now, Seattle in a deep hole. And again, the Broncos have a shot.
It'll be second and long. Back at the 5-yard line.
First sack of the day for the Bronco defense.
Second and 19. Less than 2 minutes left, third quarter. It has been a Bronco barrage here in the third. Sherman Smith picks up some running room getting across the 10-yard line. Jackson and Grant Manor in on the stop.
Jack Patera on the sideline wondering what happened to his 24-point lead.
Seahawks now have a 3rd and 12 at the 12. That huge lead has evaporated. They now lead by 3, 34-31 off the 3 consecutive touchdown passes thrown by Craig Morton. Zorn throwing right, got Dorning out of the 15, but stopped. That's it. Lewis White, the left cornerback, 5-year man out of San Jose State, one of the premier cornerbacks in the National Football League, ending that Seattle drive. And Herman Weaver, who shanked the 17-yarder that led to the 3rd Morton touchdown, will punt once again to Rick Upchurch.
Do you think there's some pressure on Herman Weaver? I'm sure that shank punt is going through his head.
Looks like Bryson Manor shaken up on that last play. Manor has been just solid, taking over for Lyle Alzado. Larry Evans also there to check it out. And Manor gets a hand as he heads to the bench. A reminder, NBC Sports will cover the 5th week of the 1979 NFL season with a national doubleheader lineup next week starting 12:30 Eastern Time with NFL 79. Starting the day with a look at ex-New England coach Chuck Fairbanks, who is now coaching at Colorado. Mike Gubble and Mike Adamley hosting. Starting 12:30 next Sunday. This time Weaver able to get a good one off. Upchurch to the 40. Going wide, 45. Brookfield, look at him, lead and twist and turn down to the 40.
Harvey should have been tackled at least 4 or 5 times. The little guy is so hard to catch up to. He's also learned how to catch a pass on the end of Craig Morton's aerials. Watch these moves. Outstanding individual job by Rick Upchurch. He has a 6th sense about where the holes are. He breaks 1 tackle there. He's going to break 3 or 4 more, and the little water bug is really hard to pull down. Gives Denver tremendous field position again, and they're only within 3.
Has come on at wide receiver, but this time Morton goes to the ground, and it's a short pickup. Jim Jensen picking up a couple. Moments ago, we received where that Jack Dolben hurt his ankle, so he is sitting down and has been replaced by Steve Watson. Now Jensen replaced by Keyworth as this 3rd quarter has come to a close. And a hand for the Denver Broncos. When we resume, it'll be 2nd and 9 from the 39 in the 4th quarter.
The Charles Levitans just got a Dodge Aspen and a $400 check from Chrysler Corporation.
We shopped all over.
The deal we got was excellent.
Aspen's a nice-sized car.
With good gas mileage.
And the check from Chrysler clinched it.
Now's the time to deal. Chrysler Corporation's giving dealers big cash incentives they can pass on to you. Only Chrysler tops your deal with a $400 check. Not Ford, not GM. Come to Dodge. Check it out.
Super automotive values from Sears. Steering through the snow or rolling through the rain. Sears all-season steel-belted radio, the weather handler can handle it. Now on sale, as low as $29.88 each. Now get the Sears heavy-duty shock, just $9.99 each installed. Smooth out some of the jolts, jars, and jerks with America's best-selling shock. Installed only $9.99. At Sears, where America shops for value.
Those magnificent men and their flying machines.
Let's take her up.
Gotcha, Dad.
Some guys
guys just can't get enough of flying, even when they fly for a living. Call them dedicated, call them perfectionists. In the friendly skies, we call them Captain.
Those magnificent men and the flying machines, they go up into the friendly skies. Fly the friendly skies.
The race for the 1980 Olympics has already begun. The games in Moscow are just the last lap of a long, grueling race that's going on right now. We've got the talent, but we need your support, because America doesn't send athletes to the Olympics, Americans do. Don't let our team get caught short. Send a contribution to U.S. Olympic Committee, Box 1980C, Cathedral Station, Boston. For contributions of $25 or more, you'll receive this gold-plated medallion. This message sponsored by the U.S. Olympic Committee and NBC.
And we welcome you back to Mile High Stadium, Denver, Colorado. This is Marv Albert with Mike Hafner. Fourth quarter underway. 2nd and 9 from the 39. Greg Morton throwing 3 touchdown passes within 2 minutes and 34 seconds to bring the Broncos right back. Here's Morton. Able to get it away to Keyworth. John Keyworth with the first down, plus additional yardage.
And Craig Morton, who is said to not be able to move, scrambled out of the way, found his 3rd receiver, and a great effort by Keyworth.
Tuiasa Sopo bringing Keyworth down. There's Norris Weiss, who is replaced by Morton early in the 3rd quarter. And Morton is now 8 for 9. Has this ball club completely fired up. The Denver defensive unit turning around. 1st and 10 at the 27. Moses slot right, Upchurch, flat right. Armstrong spinning through. Otis Armstrong, who has seen some action here this afternoon. As Morton looks to mix things up, came out throwing as he was trailing 34 to 10. Denver down 20 to 10 at the half, and then early 3rd quarter, down by 24 points.
And Greg Morton might be questioned for his running plays, but at this point, he's got to keep the pressure off of himself. Seahawks know he's throwing well. A couple of running plays will keep the defense off balance.
2nd and 6 from the Seattle 23. Morton looking right side and complete. Riley Odom, diving catch. Able to get back up because he went down by himself. And it is another Denver first down. Cornell Webster and Michael Jackson finally able to cover up.
Craig Morton getting excellent protection. He's had time to look over the field. Riley Odoms had come in motion, and Morton waited for him to clear. And again, he's going to get a shot in the back, but Odoms goes down on his own. Nobody touches him, and he gets back up and gains another 5 yards, and Morton is still hot.
He is now 9 for 10. He has a 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. Upchurch to the right, Moses slot right. Lytle and Jensen are the setbacks. This is Lytle. Inside the 5. Tripped up by Tuiasa Sopo. It'll be a 2nd and goal now. That ball is placed down at the 1-yard line as Tuiasa Sopo and Hardy combine. Good blocks by Glassick and the running back Jensen.
And the Seattle defense had been so good for 2.5 quarters, and now they've fallen apart. There's a couple missed tackles. Rob Lytle finds the hole inside. Outstanding lead block by Tom Glassick, and Lytle has got him down to the 1.
Now Red Miller has Armstrong and Keyworth in the backfield from the 1-yard line. Here's Armstrong. And he is short of the goal line. Looks like a fumble. And it will depend when that whistle blew. The Seahawks are claiming that they made the recovery, but no, they did not. 3rd down play. The officials indicate 3rd down play upcoming. Here's another look.
Otis Armstrong off tackle on the lead block by John Keyworth, and he did in fact fumble. There's the ball loose, and evidently a Bronco came up with it, and it could have gone either way then.
It is now 3rd and goal from the 1. backup tight end was able to cover up. Now Lytle and Jensen, the running backs. Here's Lytle. And Lytle is in. And the Broncos have taken the lead. Rod Lytle with his first touchdown of the season, giving Denver a 37-34 lead. Now Turner with Weiss to hold. Snap was messed up. So the Broncos failed to convert.
That leaves them with only a 3-point lead and maybe a little incentive for the Seattle Seahawks offense. They can now tie it up, force this game into a tie at least.
217. Now boarding at
Mark?
Ann.
It's been ages.
Can I buy it?
Allow me. 2 Michelob Lights.
Michelob makes a light beer?
Perfect. The good taste of Michelob Light. Don't just compare it to other light beers. Compare it to your regular beer. It's that good.
You always did go first class.
Your ticket to San Francisco. Thank you.
San Francisco?
You too?
Good taste runs in the family.
I got my start playing golf driving a tractor.
Arnold Palmer, back home in Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
My father was pro here, but before he taught me to play golf, he taught me to treat the equipment right. So, we used Pennzoil, and I think that old tractor of ours lasted 30 years or more. Look, if Pennzoil and I hadn't taken good care of the equipment, I might have never gotten on the golf course.
Pennzoil, America's ask-for motor oil.
Next Saturday, PBA Bowler of the Year Mark Roth gets things rolling on the premiere of Sports World's bowling miniseries. Then the action is fast and furious in the Michigan 125 on Sports World. NBC Sports, we're proud.
The Broncos take the lead on a score by Rob Lytle. Excellent blocking by Paul Howard and number 71, Claudie Minor. You see Howard's kick-out block that gives Lytle the 1 inch he needs to get in the end zone, and the lead for the first time today for the Broncos.
7 plays, 40 yards, 27 straight points put on the board now by Denver. They were down 34-10 early third quarter. This is Moore on the return for Seattle to the 15. And run out. He's out of bounds right across the 20-yard line. Run out by backup defensive end Bruce Radford. Well, that snap and the mix-up as Norris Weiss tried to place it down for Jim Turner could be very costly.
Looks like a good snap to Norris Weiss. He just couldn't set it up for Jim Turner. And that means only a 3-point lead and a bit of incentive for the Seattle offense.
11:07 left, fourth quarter. And the Seahawks, who have been very quiet offensively since they scored early third quarter, go to work right here. First and 10 at the 20-yard line. Dorney and Smith, the running backs. The quarterback is Zorn. And he looks to throw on first down. He pops it out, but it's underthrown. The intended receiver, Sam McCullum, who was not looking that way, he did not expect Zorn to unleash that quickly.
Again, tremendous pressure by the outside linebacker Tom Jackson on Jim Zorn, and Zorn had to throw the football before he wanted to, and that meant that his receiver wasn't looking for the pass.
It'll be a second down at the 20-yard line. Bebout, Lynch, Yano, Coder, August up front for the Seahawks. Very effective in the first half. Largent apparently is all right. He's to the right, and Ferguson is now to the left side. Largent peeling off, and Zorn to the air again through the hands of Ferguson. He was covered by Bernard Jackson.
And again, great pressure as the Broncos blitz the linebacker, this time Randy Gradishar. And again, Jim Zorn had to throw the football before he wanted to. Didn't give his time for his receivers to clear.
It is a 3rd down and 20. A concerned Seattle head coach, Jack Patera. Next Sunday, Seattle will be home for Kansas City, and the Chiefs look to be improved. Easy victory over Oakland today. Following week, Seahawks will be at San Francisco, then back home for San Diego. Next Sunday, Denver will be at Oakland, and then back home for the Chargers. 3rd down 10. Zorn with time. He'll block it away. Intended for Sherman Smith. And again, the Seahawks are stopped. Herman Weaver coming back on to punt away to Rick Upchurch.
And I'll tell you, I don't think Seattle wants to give the ball back up to Craig Morton. Morton's been so hot. Here again, a pressure situation for Herman Weaver.
Denver going with 3 deep men, but Upchurch the man in the middle. Weaver booting from his 11. Upchurch, 35. Goes wide at the 40 and fumbles, but fumbles out of bounds. It'll be Denver ball now. Inside the 40 off the 49-yard punt by Herman Weaver.
Honey, is this homeowner's insurance high?
I don't know. Think it's too much?
How would I know?
Compare with Allstate.
Compare?
Bring in your policy and compare rates. If you have a good deal, we'll tell you. But for many, chances are we've got a better deal.
We've got a better deal.
Allstate might save you some money, but you'll never know until you bring in your policy and compare.
Oh, that's a good deal.
When you want to save on homeowners insurance, Allstate wants to help.
That's a promise from us. The good hands people.
Ram power. Dodge gives you Ram power.
Now Dodge pickups go beyond tough. They're Ram tough. The biggest maximum payloads. More than Ford or Chevy. The most brute power with its most fuel-efficient V8. And with optional 3-speed automatic. The best mileage ratings, too. More than Ford or Chevy. Now,
Dodge trucks are Ram tough.
They killed his wife. They killed his child. And now he rides for revenge. Clint Eastwood is the outlaw. Josie Wales. First time on TV. Sunday.
Denver coach Red Miller saying to Craig Morton, listen, Craig, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it.
Just keep doing it because he's perfect already.
First down at the Denver 37. Broncos down 37-34. They have scored 27 consecutive points. Handoff for Jensen. Penalty markers are down as Jensen is tripped up by Keith Simpson. Right cornerback, but there are flags down.
Riley Odoms was in motion that time and started toward the line before the snap, and they caught him.
The Seahawks severely hit by penalties in the 3rd quarter, and now here's one on Denver.
Illegal motion offense, number 88, refused, 2nd down.
As Mike said, Riley Odoms called for the motion. It is refused. So a 2nd and 9 for the Broncos at the 38-yard line.
Broncos will put the ball up here, and the Seahawks must stop this pass. They've got to cool off Morton real quick.
Upchurch is out to the left, and Moses to the right. The deep back is Keyworth. Haven Moses not able to hold on. Juggling act by Moses, and fortunately from the Denver point of view, that was not picked off. Michael Jackson with the hit on Moses, setting up a 3rd and 9 for the Broncos at their 38.
Now really a crucial passing situation for Denver, and Morton obviously has come through every time in the game in the crucial spot. Good confrontation here, Mark.
Steve Watson, the rookie out of Temple, out to the left side. And Upchurch right. Morton is now 9 for 11, 149 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Throws the middle, and he completes it. Riley Odoms, first down. He stepped out at the 40, and Morton has done just that. He has come through.
has gone up. Holy mackerel. He's uncanny today.
He is now 10 for 12 and a first down at the Seattle 40-yard line. On NBC tonight, a sensational Sunday starting at 7 Eastern time with a classic Disney film, The Love Bug, on Disney's Wonderful World. And then at 9 o'clock Eastern time, it's Sunday's big event, Clint Eastwood and the outlaw Josie Wells. Check local listings for times in your area. All right here on NBC. Morton able to unload to Upchurch. And Upchurch struck down inside the 35-yard line. Cornell Webster, the left cornerback, making the tackle.
And again, that same type of pass where you get one-on-one coverage on the very elusive Rick Upchurch. Morton hit him perfectly.
And he picked up 7, 2nd and 3.
Upchurch looks a little tired. Those wide receivers all got to have their tongues hanging out because Morton's been wild.
Double duty for Upchurch, though, today, seeing much action
Field.
on
Repeat.
kickoff return.
The official clock is not running.
The official clock apparently is not running. The scoreboard shows 10 minutes and 48 seconds. 10:48 according to the scoreboard remaining in this fourth quarter.
They'll keep the official clock on the field, and it's always kept that way. They're going to reset the clock, Marv, and we'll find out exactly how much time left in this fourth quarter. I'm sure the Seahawks are interested, and so are the Broncos.
They are attempting to reset the scoreboard clock. Right now they've pushed it back to 15 minutes. And now they say play back in, so I would think they will pass it on the public address. Final score, Miami Dolphins defeating the Chicago Bears 31-16. Miami now 4-0. Chicago at the 500 mark at 2-2. Larry Justin has come on, replacing Cornell Webster at left cornerback in the 2nd and 3 for the Broncos. Morton off the play action, going deep. Oh, just knocked away. Haven Moses, the intended receiver, and was broken up. Keith Simpson, number 42, who was able to intercept a Norris Weiss pass earlier in the game, able to get his hand on that toss.
Keith Simpson just got a hand on it, deflected the ball just a bit. Otherwise, Haven Moses would have been in the end zone for a touchdown. Watch the play by Simpson, 42, deflects the ball right there just enough so that Haven Moses doesn't get a chance for 6. Great play by Simpson, a first-round draft choice.
It is a 3rd and 3. Moses has caught 3, Odom's 5, and Upchurch 5 as we watch Otis Armstrong pick up the first down. So Craig Morton going to the ground, and he's picked up an important first down.
Again, we don't know how much time is left because it's being kept on the field, but that first down was very important for Denver to keep their momentum going.
It's a first down at the Seattle 29-yard line. Craig Morton spent 10 years in Dallas, 3 years with the New York Giants that he would like to forget about. 2 years here at Denver, won 2 AFC Western titles, plus the Super Bowl berth. Unofficially, 9.5 left fourth quarter. On the draw, straight ahead, John Keyworth picking up yardage.
And with Craig Morton so hot in the passing game, the running game for the Broncos has opened up, and Craig Morton using it perfectly.
Robert Hardy, Michael Jackson combining on the stop, but a penalty marker is down and looks to be a procedure call. It was a 6-yard pickup by Keyworth.
Illegal procedure against Denver, 5 yards. Will be 1st and 15, Marv.
Illegal formation offense. The tackle was uncovered. 1st and 15.
It'll be a 1st and 15 back at the 34-yard line off the illegal formation.
The tackle uncovered means that he was off the line of scrimmage more than his normal allotted amount. How's that for an explanation?
Say that again, run that right by. Here's Morton in difficulty, and down he goes. Craig Morton is sacked. Back near midfield, Joya Sissoko, the 6'3", 252-pound rookie out of UCLA, a #1 draft pick by the Seattle Seahawks, getting to the quarterback, Craig Morton.
Not the fault of the offensive line this time. Craig Morton couldn't find a receiver open. Did the wise thing. He only has a 3-point lead. Had to scramble. Still can't see a receiver open. And instead of throwing it up for an interception, as Weiss had done in the first half, he just had to eat it.
It'll be a 2nd and 27. Upchurch to the left. Moses right.
Can he get out of a hole this time?
And a timeout is called now by Denver. So Morton to the sidelines to talk things over with the 2nd and 27 upcoming.
Radio Shack has slashed the price on one of our top-of-the-line stereo systems. Right now, save $310 on this impressive realistic hi-fi. You get this quality AM/FM stereo receiver, a pair of realistic tower speakers, and this precision belt drive turntable, all for only $579. A great entertainment bargain and a beautiful addition to your home. The sale-priced realistic stereo system, just $579, only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
Natural light beer, please. Actually, I guess you're supposed to say, give me a natural or make it a natural. Okay, so I'm a maverick. But, you know, I just walked out of a bar because they didn't have natural light beer.
You must have been humidified.
So was I.
I empathize with you. You know, a cabin without the smooth, clean taste of this light beer is downright unnatural.
You know, that's so true. That's why I came in here for a natural. There you go. I just said natural. It goes to show you. I guess you hear something so often, you naturally just follow along like a flock of sheep. Monkey see, monkey do.
On the misadventures of Sheriff Lobo, there's trouble brewing when Bertie spots some moonshiners. And look who's drinking the evidence, Dean Martin. Tuesday on NBC.
Apparently they have readjusted the clock. You see 8:32 left fourth quarter, and that is correct. This is Marv Albert with Mike Hafner from Denver, Colorado. Led by Craig Morton, the Denver Broncos, who were down at halftime 20-10, down early third quarter 34-10, reeled off 27 consecutive points, and now lead it 37-34, but they have a 2nd and 27 at the Seattle 46. This is Keyworth on the slant left to the 41-yard line, and it will be 3rd and long upcoming.
Smart call in that situation. You do not want to change the momentum by throwing an interception. That was a conservative play as far as the fans are concerned, but maybe a smart play in winning this football game for the Broncos.
3rd and 22 at the Seattle 41. Now Watson to the left and Moses in a slant left. Here's Upchurch to the right. Jensen is the lone deep back. And Morton to throw. And in trouble, gets it away for Upchurch. Broken up. A foot race for that Morton throw, and Upchurch had it batted away by a couple Seattle defenders.
Tried to take advantage of the great speed of Rick Upchurch. Craig Morton knew he wasn't open early. You'll see him pull the ball down, then get it back up. And it's more of a hope pass. Hopes he throws it up and hits the right jersey. And I think Rick Upchurch played defensive back more than offensive receiver on that play.
And here is the rookie out of Bama, Luke Prestridge. He will try a directional punt. That has been the only rep against him. Still not able to successfully direct in these short yardage situations. And as we see right there, as Jeff Moore takes, but good coverage by Denver to pin him back. That time Prestridge got a break because it was a tough one to handle. Chris Payne in on the tackle of Moore, and a timeout has been called with 7.5 left in the fourth quarter, with the score of the Broncos 37 and the Seahawks 34.
Take care of your car at Kmart.
Your Kmart Automotive Center has the answer to your muffler problem. The zinc-coated, double-wrapped Kmart Arrestor muffler. Have it installed by Kmart, and if anything goes wrong, they'll replace it free. as long as you own your American-made car. The Arrestor. Zinc-coated and double-wrapped like the best. And best of all, Kmart price. Get it at Kmart Automotive Centers across the USA, where quality auto products are Kmart priced.
Now, the best Zenith ever. System 3 is even better. Even better. The sharpest Zenith picture ever. Sharpest picture. An all-modular chassis designed to be the most reliable Zenith ever. Most reliable. And now, computer space command remote control. 105 channels. Zenith's most advanced. Most advanced. Zenith System 3. System 3. Now, even better.
75,000 plus here in Denver. 67th straight sellout crowd during the regular season. 7.5 left fourth quarter. And it's a 1st and 10 at the 8 for Jim Zorn and the Seahawks. This is Dorning. Straight ahead once again as Swenson was able to make the tackle. Dan Dorning picking up the first down.
Dornick, a great play to give Jim Zorn some field position so that he can work offensively. This game is not over yet.
Throw some scores at you. New Orleans leading San Francisco 30-21 in the fourth. Both those clubs are 0-3. Tampa Bay leading the LA Rams 21-6 in the second. And the Eagles over the Giants 17-13 in the fourth quarter.
I don't want to tell you I picked Tampa Bay.
Completed to Dorning. Out of the 30, it's another first down for the Seahawks. Bernard Jackson, the free safety, stopping Dornick. And that's the first sustained drive the Seahawks have had since early third quarter.
And again, that missed extra point could prove to be a factor late in the game. Jim Zorn throws to his backs well. He did it well in the first half. Now he's going back to it. He finds Dornick underneath the coverage and gets another first down.
Denver crowd urging the Bronco defensive unit out. Sherman Smith off the stutter step. 45, 50. Beautiful move by Smith off the huge hole that was set up.
Again, that sprint draw by the Seattle Seahawks. They run it so well. It's their bread and butter play. Zorn sprints out as though he's going to throw. Hands off to Smith. And watch him. The Sherman tank goes right through the hole that was opened up. Bryson Manor misses the tackle, and Smith has given the Seattle offense some field position.
Thompson and Jackson brought him down. First down for the Seahawks at the Denver 47. And Zorn to unleash deep downfield, and it's picked off. Steve Foley on the intercept intended for Steve Largent. And the Broncos with another turnover. Zorn intercepted for the 8th time this season and 2nd time this afternoon.
Steve Largent had his man beat. Steve Foley, number 43. You can see Zorn. He looks at him all the way. That's where he's going. It looked like the ball slipped in his hand a bit because it was underthrown. And there was the interception that might have turned this game in favor of Denver.
For Foley, his first interception of the season. The Broncos take over first down at the 13-yard line. Moses to the right, but the handoff for Jensen tries the left side and gets a couple on the play. Jim Jensen, 3-year pro out of Iowa, 2nd-round draft pick of the Dallas Cowboys back in '76. Missed the entire 1978 season because of a knee injury. Made it back big here in '79. Has surprising speed for a big man.
The Seahawk defense has got to stop Denver on this drive, and they've got to stop them quickly.
2nd and 8 at the 15. 4:55 remaining, fourth quarter, and the Broncos lead it 37-34. Armstrong and Keyworth now at the running back. Morton on the bootleg, but did not fool Seattle's Bill Gregory.
Bill Gregory has been the most consistent defensive end for the Seattle Seahawks this season. And Craig Morton doesn't run the bootleg very often, and it usually fools the defense. But Gregory stayed at home, and he's got a piece of Morton's jersey, and Morton's going nowhere.
That sets up a 3rd and 13 back at the 10-yard line. Bill Gregory, a 9-year man out of Wisconsin, another one-time Dallas Cowboy. Steve Watson has come on. 3 wide receivers in for the Broncos in this 3rd and long. Big rush. Penalty marker down as Morton fumbles, picked up by Gregory, but the play is whistled in.
There's that new rule in the National Football League. As soon as the quarterback is within the grasp of a defensive player, the whistle is blown, and they blew it before Morton fumbled. There's also a holding penalty on the play.
The Broncos called for the hold.
That new rule is a big break for the Broncos. It could have been Seattle with the ball inside the 10.
Holding, 71 offense, refused, 4th down.
Claude Minor, the right tackle for Denver, is called for the hold. There's Claude, 6th year out of San Diego State. So the penalty has been refused, and Denver will punt out of the end zone.
And they got Luke Prestridge and kept him, the 8th-round draft choice out of Baylor, specifically for these situations. They want a boomer here.
That's Jeff Moore back at us at the Denver 40-yard line. And the punt by Prestridge. Good hang time as Moore has to backpedal out to the 50 and fumbles. Recovered by the Denver Broncos. Jim Ryan, rookie, William & Mary, makes the recovery.
Very interesting, Marv. It was a rookie return man who put Denver in a lot of trouble in the first half. And now it's Jeff Moore, the rookie, who fumbles the punt. Jim Ryan recovers, and the Broncos have had it all go their way since 2 scores by Seattle to start the 3rd period.
Yes, earlier it was Zachary Dixon who put Denver in the immediate hole off the opening kickoff, and now Moore, the rookie out of Jackson State, coughing it up. Jim Ryan, another rookie out of William & Mary, picking it up. 1st and 10 for Morton now at the Denver 47-yard line. 3:55 left in this 4th quarter. Picking his way through is Jensen. Jensen to the 46. Stopped by Michael Jackson, the right linebacker.
Again, a good call by Craig Morton. After a turnover, you expect a hot quarterback to throw the football. He had the quick opener to Jim Jensen, and he ripped off 8 yards.
2nd and 2, 3.5 left, 4th quarter. Broncos by 3, reeling off 27 straight points, 3 touchdowns thrown by Morton. As you see the clock running down, Lytle and Keyworth, the setbacks. Moses in the slot right, Upchurch wide right. Again to the ground, and breaking clear is Keyworth. First down at the 35. Dave Brown, the right cornerback, making the tackle on John Keyworth.
And I would say the Bronco offense is fired up. That turnover on the punt, they haven't blocked the run well today, and now they're opening holes for Keyworth and Jensen, the big fullbacks, and they're just chewing up the yardage.
Denver coming in at 2-1 off the overtime win against Atlanta. Seattle at 1-2 off the 27-10 win over Oakland. Next Sunday, Denver will be at Oakland. That's Jensen bottled up. Robert Hardy, another rookie out of Jackson State, 10th round draft pick, who has been a big surprise, starting at left defensive tackle, making the stop on Jensen. 1-yard advance, 2nd and 9 now at the Seattle 33.
They'll let it run to the 2-minute warning, Marv.
Well, Seattle decides to stop it. And right here, during the course of the timeout, let's go back to New York. Brian Gumbel has an update on what is going on in the NFL.
Okay, Marv Albert, thank you very much. Been a very busy Sunday here this fourth week of the season. Let's give you the finals that we've got up to the minute. New England a winner over San Diego today. Final there 27-21. That's the first loss for the Chargers. Buffalo Bills come up big. They beat the New York Jets 46-31. Jerry Butler 10 catches, 255 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Detroit a winner for the first time. They beat Atlanta 24-23. Houston in overtime on a 29-yard field goal by Tony Frisch keeps the Bengals winless 30-27. Another overtime game. The Vikings beat the Packers 27-21. It's Pittsburgh 17, Baltimore 13. The Steelers are still perfect this year. Washington 17, St. Louis 7. That one a final. Another final, Kansas City over Oakland. Final there 35-7. Philadelphia over the Giants 17-13. Seattle, Denver, you are watching that one. It's a 3-point ball game right now. Chicago a loser 31-16. It's 21-6 Tampa Bay over LA. New Orleans beating San Francisco 30-21. Let's go back to Mile High and Marv Albert.
All right, Bryant, Marv Albert, and Mike Hafner back at Mile High in Denver. We have a second and about 8 for the Broncos following the timeout that was called by Seattle. Denver now at the Seattle 32-yard line. We have 2 minutes, 17 seconds remaining as you look at Jeff Moore, who fumbled on that last punt return, giving the Broncos the ball right where they are right here, picking up yardage following that fumble by Moore. Rob Lytle able to shut off one tackler, but not able to get going. Robert Harney all over Rob Lytle. Picked up a yard, perhaps. 3rd and 7. They spot it at the 31.
And here goes Magic Craig Morton again.
But first, the 2-minute warning. When we resume, it'll be 3rd and 7 for Denver at the Seattle 31, with Denver leading by 3. Right here, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is KING-TV, Seattle.
2 minutes left, 4th quarter. Seattle and Denver each with 2 timeouts remaining. It is a 3rd and 7 for the Broncos at the Seattle 31. Looking for Upchurch, and he throws it way off the mark. Upchurch with a turn-in, covered by Kerry Justin. Stay tuned immediately following. We will be joining Disney's Wonderful World, The Love Bug, in progress over most of these stations, except for most Mountain and Pacific time zone stations, where the program will be seen at its regular time.
Interesting that they would punt here, Marv.
I don't know. What do you think?
I'd run another play, run some more time off the clock, try to get another first down. It's not good field position for Seattle.
Well, here is Prestridge, this time looking to put it in the corner, but it goes too far, and that means Seattle will take over at the 20-yard line. 1:48 left in regulation. And when we resume, it'll be Seattle ball.
I'm with you. I'd have gone for the first down.
There is the man that could be the guy as we go down to these final minutes. Efren Herrera's 2 for 3 thus far today. Seahawks are trailing by 3, 37-34 as they take over back at their 20-yard line, and Zorn will have to move his punt upfield in a hurry with 1:45 remaining. Zorn with time, throws it short, intended for Ferguson. Out near the 40-yard line. Duke Ferguson covered by the outside linebacker, Bob Swenson.
And again, some pressure by a blitzing linebacker, Randy Gradishar, on the blitz. Forced Zorn to throw it before he wanted to.
Final score, Tampa Bay makes it 4-0. In the biggest game in their franchise history, they have defeated the Los Angeles Rams at home, 21-6. Doug Williams throwing 2 touchdown passes. And final score, New Orleans picks up its first win, defeating San Francisco 30-21. A minute and 43 remaining in the 4th quarter. That's Largent in motion. That's Largent on the reception. And he did pick up the first down. He went out across the 30. Charlie West, the extra defensive back, able to follow him across, out of bounds.
Excellent play by Jim Zorn. What he wanted was to pick up a first down. That was his prime consideration.
It'll be a first down at the 30. Ferguson is to the left and Largent to the right. Coming up next on most of these stations, the Love Bug from the wonderful world of Disney. Now Zorn able to complete as Largent stops the clock, runs out across the 36-yard line.
And if that play looked familiar, it was the exact same play, this time to the left side of the field. Zorn had completed it to Largent on the right side for the first down.
That time Lewis Wright providing coverage for Denver. And it's a 2nd and 4 now at the Seattle 36. A minute and 34, as you see, left in this fourth quarter. And the Broncos leading at 37-34. They were trailing 34-10 in the third quarter, and then it was the Craig Morton show. Here's Zorn, who's been very quiet. It is deflected. Swenson picks off. Aggressive play by Bob Swenson, his second interception of the day. Was able to make contact to knock it away, and Swenson coming up with that football on sheer aggression.
Bob Swenson just wouldn't let anybody get near the ball, and you talk about a unit of linebackers that work well together. Tom Jackson tipped the ball up in the air to his teammate and linebacker buddy Bob Swenson, and the Broncos are back in business.
It's Denver ball at the Seattle 45 with a minute and 28 left in the fourth quarter. Upchurch left, Moses right, Lytle and Jensen the setbacks. Here's Jensen. Gets to the 41. 4-yard advance, 2nd and 6. And a timeout called by the Seahawks. John Harris making the stop on Jensen. Seattle now with 1 timeout left. And it appears one of the Seahawks, Terry Beeson, is hurt. That is Beeson, middle linebacker. And there is the guy this afternoon.
Oh, Magic Arm did his thing, didn't he, when he came in? I wonder if there'll be a question about who starts the game against Oakland next week.
Somehow I don't think so. 36-year-old Craig Morton ripping off 3 touchdowns within 2.5 minutes. Big lineup of football here on NBC next week, starting with NFL 79 at 12:30. The 1 o'clock games will include Cleveland at Houston, Pittsburgh playing at Philadelphia, Jets are home for Miami. At 2 o'clock, Buffalo at Baltimore. These are Eastern times. And at 4 o'clock, Denver Broncos playing the Raiders in Oakland, Cincinnati at Dallas, and Kansas City will play the Seattle Seahawks. All, of course, preceded by NFL 79 with Bryant Gumbel and Mike Adamley. We suggest you consult your local listings for the games and times in your area. Another big day of football here on NBC, and we have had a beauty here this afternoon. Mike and I will be telecasting Cleveland and Houston, which shapes up as a good one. Cleveland playing tomorrow night against Dallas. Otis Armstrong short of a first down. Houston coming from way back to beat Cincinnati earlier today, and Cleveland with a record of 3-0 playing Dallas tomorrow night.
Very interesting that Cleveland, who will play tomorrow night, Cincinnati 0-4. They had a lead and lost it. Also, Baltimore had a lead and lost it to Pittsburgh. There might be 2 head coaches in trouble.
All right, that's the final timeout for the Seattle Seahawks. You're worse than the Turk. You want firings, Mike.
If you don't win in the National, you got to put W's in the column or coaches get nailed.
Get the coach, says Hefner. We have a minute 8 left in regulation time. A 3rd and 1 is upcoming for the Broncos at the Seattle 36. And Denver just looking to hold on to that football with a 3-point lead, 37-34. 34. That extra point that actually was not even attempted because of the poor handling of the snap by Norris Weiss has proven to be costly, although the Seahawks have not yet been able to take advantage.
No timeout left for the Seahawks. If the Broncos make a first down here, the game is over.
Lytle and Jensen are the running backs. It's Jensen getting the call and getting the first down. Big one for the Denver Broncos. Clock continues to run. Less than a minute left now. John Harris in on the tackle. Michael Jackson also there. There you see we have 50 seconds left. And the Broncos looking to just take their time at this point.
One of the greatest comebacks I have ever seen. I've seen this club play for 12 years. I played for the better part of 5. I've never seen him come back from 24 points in the third period and win.
On the other hand, it's been a long time since a club scored this many points this early against the Denver Broncos. Seattle early third quarter had their 34 points. Morton just looking to run the clock out. There you see we approach 15 seconds, and that will be the final play of the afternoon. The Broncos have to be breathing a sigh of relief as they have been able to come from behind in dramatic fashion, hitting on 27 consecutive points, led by Craig Morton, to defeat the Seattle Seahawks 37-34. A spectacular come from behind victory. Sellout crowd of 75,000 enjoying it all as Denver goes 3-1, and Seattle with a record of 1 up and 3 down. The final again, Denver 37, Seattle 34.